What is up, guys? Our first ever podcast. Me, your boy, Shaded Pineapple.
Yeah, yeah.
We are breaking barriers and hitting up all the games. We're going to try our little podcast here. It's not necessarily a gaming podcast, but we're talking about everything, but mostly gaming. This badass logo you see in the background, that's due to our boy Pineapple here. He's the best graphic artist out in the game right now. So you got to hit him up with that. But we're
Eh,
going to try something new here. New and
definitely.
exciting. Have you ever did a podcast, Pineapple?
No, I've never done a podcast. I barely talk when we are streaming, let alone let alone something dedicated to talking the entire time. It's going to be rough.
Do you think we'll encounter any hackers while we're in our podcast?
Knowing me, probably we will probably meet a couple hackers in our podcast.
Yeah, we're here. We're here to have some fun, talk about some things that we're interested in. We're also here to help our stream team that Pineapple was actually nice enough to host. He is actual partner on Twitch, guys. So he does have a stream team, and he's been nice enough to invite a lot of streamers, a lot of up and coming streamers, guys who we watch their streams, we enjoy their content, and sometimes we actually play with them.
Yeah, a lot of good people, man. We got my cousin on there. We got my sister on there. We've got Snackums on there. You know what? While we're talking about this is a good
We
topic
got
to
my
start
cousin
out
on
with.
there.
Let me actually pull up the roster because I don't know exactly every person on there at the moment.
I'm going to share the screen too. And when I went on that thing, guess who I see? Your big, beautiful face right there.
Uh-oh. Okay, let me see. I think I go here. I'm still learning all the ins and outs of, all the perks of being a partner. So, I think it's here. Okay, let me scroll down and let's go take a look. Okay, so here's the members. So we've got obviously me and Urban Ninja Fu. We've got Bald Guy Gaming, which is Elvis, Josh Skellington, who is Josh we play with regularly, does zombies. Abated Bigfoot, who's been a part of my community since the very beginning. Viper Pit is a, uh GTA role playing server master host. I don't know what you call him, but he's the server guy. This guy that owns the server and plays and does RP as well. Fine Art Fab is my sister. Inked Venus is one of the viewers. I think she came from your stream. Is that right?
I actually would have said she came from yours. I'm not sure. I did know that she just hit us up within the last few streams we were going for, and she's super awesome at coming by, saying hi, and sharing the streams. I've seen some of her
Yep.
streams. She's pretty cool. She does play Call of Duty, guys. She be getting them kills. We also got our boys,
Yeah.
Mr. Snackums. Mr. Snackums is
Yeah.
hilarious. If you guys haven't seen him, go check out his channel. Mr. Snackums is also an awesome veteran from our country, so we gotta show him that respect.
Show the respect. And then Celtic Fox, which is my cousin Stephanie, who is on the verge of becoming an affiliate. She's like right there. So if anybody can go throw her a follow or two or whatever, I think she might get bumped to the next level.
Nice, yeah. Show that love, guys. That's what we do. We like helping each other grow. That's what we're here for.
Should we talk about who's pending? Who's got
Uh,
invites that hasn't accepted yet, or
woo, woo. They still ghosted us. Yeah, who is still pending? Who is still pending?
we're getting ghosted right now? Well, I understand Red Room because he said he wanted to play with us first, which I understand that.
Yeah, yeah. We just met Red Room. He's actually I got introduced to Red Room by Snackums. He seems pretty cool. He's up and coming. He does pretty good streams. So I did let him know we had a stream team. He showed interest. We do need to get in a match with him. He does play at a little different time than us, but we will make it happen. We'll get in there. I think that he will be a good fit.
Right. So Red Room, he's waiting to play with us, and then Shady Coconut, which is my friend Mike, and then Drink More Water, which, uh, if anybody's watched my stream, they know Water is hilarious. He has we don't have the highlight anymore, but he's the one who called all campers roaches and would just scream out loud. And every time he would die to somebody that's sitting on a kitchen sink, he'd just effing roach. Like he just gets so mad. It was great.
That's hilarious. Like
So
I actually was wondering because I came in, we would play Warzone, and I got the roach thing, but I didn't actually know who it came from. I didn't know where it originated
hmm
from.
Yeah, that originated from water. I don't know if he wants to be on a stream team or not. I think he's trying to just do his solo thing. He doesn't want to be responsible to anybody. I think that's why he hasn't accepted it. I don't think it has anything. It's not personal or anything like that. He's just.
Yeah, the stream
I get it.
team is it's nothing, there's no crazy requirements. We do like each other to host each other. We do like to host each other. Worded that really weird. But there's not a lot of requirements. We like to invite people who we see that are cool, have about the same interest, and have a friendly enough stream where people can go in there and have a good time. I think that being on a stream team does help, but there's it's not required, and we just invite people. There's no pressure whether you accept it or not. It's just an open offer to cool guys we meet
Right.
and girls.
And cool girl and cool gals, right?
Exactly. Yes. So, how about you? Where did you start? Like, what was your starting on? Like, what's your game of choice when you started streaming? Like, where did you come from?
Oh man. I think I started with Black Ops 2. I'm
Black
pretty sure
Ops
that's what it
2.
was.
That's a classic.
Yeah. Do you want the origin story of the pineapple getting on the internet before I was the pineapple who I was before and
I
all
would
that
love
good
it.
stuff?
I would love it.
Okay. Um so I was nobody, just Mike, just me, normal my name. And I think my gamer tag at the time was the target. That's it. It was just the target. So if I killed you, you were killed by the target. Um And so I was gaming and I happened upon this guy's stream. I can't remember his name now. And he was making me laugh. And there was a girl talking in the background the whole time. And so I wrote in his chat the first time. And I think it was on Xbox when Xbox had the Twitch app back in the day when they first came out. Or I was on my phone. I can't remember now. But I wrote and I was like, hey, who's that? Who are you gaming with? I don't really see many girls playing Call of Duty. And he said, oh, that's my wife. And I was like, "Oh, that's sick, man. That's awesome that you and your wife." He's like, "She also streams. She's got her channel." So I pulled both their streams up, one on my phone, one on the other one, and was just talking back and forth and hanging out. And I said, if I can get a chance to get a game in there because I just like their personality, it'd be cool. So eventually, I got to game with them, which I thought was a cool aspect of Twitch back when because you're talking about when it just became Twitch because it was Justin TV before that, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it was right at the very beginning. We're talking about like day one. I met these people when Twitch, was out, and so they brought me into a game, Call of Duty. We all played, and I had them laughing for the entire 2 hours that they were playing. And so after the stream, um, they said, "Mike, you should do this, man. Like you would be really good. You're funny. You have good personality, and you're goofy." And of course, that's obviously when I was younger and more hyper, and I'm not as funny as I used to be. So I was like, "Man, okay, let's do it." So I set up the camera, got the gear, got the capture card, plugged in the Xbox to the dude, it was a $250 laptop from Best Buy. It was, I think it was an HP. It was a piece of crap. I had to use the webcam built into the laptop. It was a Elgato USB adapter style capture card,
The original Elgato. Oh,
the
the
original
OG
Elgato.
Elgato.
Yeah, it was absolute garbage. But back then, that was not garbage. That was like top of the line. That
Dude,
was
that was the thing to have. I do remember that if you had the Elgato, you were already two steps ahead of people who were trying to do anything else, capturing it via computer through their capture card. Elgato made everything easy and compressed the video for you. It was
oh
nice.
yeah. Yeah, it was sick. And I remember I was different than everybody else because I didn't use Elgato's streaming software. I had downloaded OBS. And this was when OBS was like just barely off the, it's not like Streamlabs OBS or anything like not even like OBS is now. But because I'm a tech guy, I was able to add, graphics and alerts and stuff that I thought was like what everybody was doing, right? I just like, oh, I thought this is what everybody's doing, and then I was playing custom games. But I remember my first stream was my title was setting up for the big show, and I had one guy come in, and his name was Kirk. And you guys probably, if you ever were back here back in the day, it's TSR Zombies. But he wasn't TSR Zombies. What was he before that? I can't remember his name. Maybe it was TSR Zombies, then he changed it to something. Expicious, that's what he changed it to. Anyway, so his name was Kirk in real life, though. Kirk jumped in the chat room. We started talking, and of course I'm new, so I'm just like I'm making everybody a mod. So everybody that came to the channel was a mod. So I had like 26 mods at some point, or 30 mods, or 40. It was a lot because I didn't even know what I was doing. So, but the first one was setting up Big Show, and it's just me in like a raggedy T-shirt, like plugging stuff in and trying to set up a green screen and looking like a fool and an idiot. But of course, this is 6, 7 years ago, so nobody knew what they were doing. Um, and people just started flooding in, and then I started playing Black Ops 2 once I got everything set up, and I'd already had a relationship with all these people because I'm just talking and hanging out on stream, and we start gaming together, and then it was 3 okay, so this is the thing that shocked me. From the time I started, from the time I got partnered, was a 3-month period of time. So from day 1, we're talking 90 days later, I was a partner on Twitch. So, you day 1, I'm just a guy in his, living room slash half office, setting up his computer setting up a $200 laptop, an Elgato, and what would be Xbox 360, right? That's what we were playing back then, I think. Xbox
It
360.
if you started off on then, you had to have been on a 360. Yes,
Hmm.
like that was definitely 360. Yeah.
I still have that controller, by the way. I kept it. It's a memento in one of my memento boxes that I've got, because it's such a good memory. Like that was like to me that was like the purest form of me as a streamer. It was before I was tainted by the history that I've had on the internet, and we can talk about that if you ever wanted to. But the beginning was just me saying yes to everything because I was like, oh yeah, you want to be a mod? Here you go. You can be a mod. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know any of the repercussions. But we went from 20 viewers to 50 to 100 viewers, then from 100 to 3 or 400 viewers. And then once I got to like 3 or 400 viewers, that's when I met Swifter. And Swifter said I was doing the same thing he was doing, but I didn't know who he was at the time. People said, "Oh, Swifter does this," and I was like, "What does he do?" "Oh, he plays custom games." I was like, "Oh, he does what I do," and they're like, "No, no, you do what he does," because he was like really big at the time, or he still is, I guess. So I go over to his channel. I'm like, "Oh God, I'm copying this guy apparently, right?" Like I didn't even know. Of course, my games weren't nearly. I mean, his stuff was intricate. I mean, I thought my stuff was cool, but he had like, dude, he had stuff that nobody had. So somebody then told him about me, and he came over and subscribed to my channel and was like, "Welcome to Twitch," and blah blah blah. He was really nice. He wrote me a couple of private messages and asked if I needed any help. He'd help me out and stuff like that. So I asked him a few questions, and he helped me. And then I just went back to gaming. And then I guess he shouted me out and hosted me. And then we went from like 3 or 400 viewers to 700, 800, 1,000 viewers, right? Because he had so many people watching him. And because I played custom games, a lot of our viewership was shared at the time. And so it was like, we're talking, and this is all within the first month, right? The first month this is happening. So of course I'm freaking out. I'm getting donations, and that's blowing my mind because I'm thinking, how am I making money playing a video game? Like I would never. My dad, if he was alive at the time, he would have been like, you're making money doing what? You know. So that's like first month we're hitting upwards to 500 to 1,000 viewers, and of course you can't apply for partnership unless you've been streaming for up to 3 months or something like that at the time. I forget what the rules were, but then month 2 is when one of the coolest things happened. So some regular viewers that were in there they watched Tim the Tatman. Well, I didn't know who he was either, so they introduced me to him, and he found out about me, and he came in and subbed, and then he invited me and we played some games together, and that was when we went from 1,000 viewers to like sometimes 3,000 viewers. And so it was just like anywhere from 500 to 3,000 viewers for the next couple months, as I'm just playing Call of
so,
Duty, man. We're
so
just playing
what
Call of
what
Duty.
year is this? What year is this we're talking about?
2006, 2005, like I'm trying to think. It's a while ago, right? Or is it yeah, or is it
So
2004? No, no, it'd be 2014, 2015, right?
yeah, yeah. So
I said
it,
2006. That's not
I
right.
was like, wow, dude, that was like really.
No, it wasn't that.
So would that be on Tim's early goings? Because I want to say that Tim's definitely huge now, but at first he was one of the smaller guys on their little side
You
of
know,
teams.
he was still bigger than me. Like he was still he like when it was weird. It was kind of like our all of our viewers started combining. You know what I mean? And so and I wasn't streaming when they were streaming, so when I would stream, I would get most of all those viewers. And so, when I wasn't streaming, Tim would get, anywhere from 500 to a few thousand as well, and I would get anywhere from 500 to a few thousand. And I think I vaguely remember that Swifter always had more viewers than everybody. Like if I'm remembering correctly, I'm pretty sure that he was bigger than all of us at the time. But I think that's because he was also like the front man for Twitch in some way, wasn't he? Like they showcased him a lot. It just seemed that way. And obviously Twitch that early didn't really have a lot of,
Yeah,
you know,
the crazy thing is I'm not really sure. You see, your story is pretty interesting on how fast you grew. Where if I had to tell you where I started, I started when it was Justin TV. I
right.
started um Modern Warfare 2. I actually played a few games with Sandy Ravage when there was no streaming. He was uploading what was it called? Nuke Hunters. He was like, what were those guys called? Booster Hunters. Booster Hunters. He was going around and he
Okay.
was getting all the kids that were getting fake nukes. That would you'd have your friend join late in the game on the other team and use a tactile insertion. They would kind of boost to a nuke, right? His
Okay.
goal would become and wreck those guys and then drop a nuke on them. And I saw a couple of his videos and I was like, that is genius. And this guy's amazing. I've never seen someone play like that. And I played pretty well myself, but like the way he played, I felt like, oh, that's like untouchable. So I made it my
Right.
goal to try to like get into one of his games. And then soon after that, I saw that I don't have your background. I don't have any artistic skill whatsoever. Anything I make, if I make it myself, it looks like total poo poo. So I tried to do a YouTube video one time, do little graphics and editing and everything like that. I can edit the video to make it look okay, but I can't do anything cool with it. So like right
Right.
away, I was like, I'm not gonna build YouTube stuff, anything more than just like a cool hobby that I can watch myself and watch later. But I saw Justin TV. I started watching some people on there, and I started streaming Modern Warfare 2 on there. And I got a little viewership on there. It was actually a little easier on that because it was such a small network that there wasn't a whole lot of people that were streaming at that time. Streaming was almost like a unicorn. You like you were saying, if you had an Elgato, you were like, oh,
Yeah.
dude, you got an Elgato, you can capture your games. It was made the world a lot easier.
Right.
So I streamed on Justin TV for quite a while, and then took a small break. Noticed that Twitch had come out and gone to Twitch, streamed for a while. But every time that well, actually not every time, after I started streaming on Twitch, I would always interhook with people, and I got lucky enough, I guess fortunate enough to meet pretty large channels.
Right.
But I would help instead of growing myself. I would help those guys. So
Right.
I got together with Reckless Tortuga, absolutely hilarious sketch comedy group on YouTube. I want to say over 5 million subs on YouTube. Giant channel. They
Holy
started.
cow.
They have this channel. They have this series called Online Gamer, and it's a hilarious show. You'd have to watch it, but they kind of wanted to bring those characters and do streaming so people would watch it. They had a great
Right.
idea, but they had no idea how to do any of the live streaming stuff. It was all new to them. I ran into them. I was able to answer some of their questions, eventually get invited into their little inner circle and help them grow, and I grew their channel to pretty large.
Nice.
Why I smallly streamed in the background. But like I always been about jumping in, having fun, and doing something. Like I've never been in streaming to I guess I never thought I'd be in streaming to like kind of make money or like blow up and be famous. I've always done it to have fun. I just want to have
Right.
fun and capture some funny shit and interact with some people. But like throughout the way, I've run into quite a few. larger channels. They were medium or smaller or large somewhere else and came to a new platform. And because of, I guess I'm pretty. What's the word? I'm open. I'm pretty talkable. I can talk to somebody and they can also realize that I'm also not, more of an adult. I was able to interact with those guys. So I've actually been in like 4 or 5 large Twitch journeys without actually being partnered myself. But I've
Right.
seen like insane things happen on Twitch. It's been actually really fun.
I mean it is, I mean it's dude, to see like where Twitch has gone from when I started to what it is now, like it's, I mean, we saw the, we saw the rise of Tim, we saw the rise of Summit, we saw the rise of Ninja and all these guys, you know what I mean?
Well,
Um
do you
and I'm just naming
know?
a few. There's a lot on there.
Do you know who Phantom Lord is?
Phantom Lord, yeah, I remember him. Didn't he get swatted too?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He also was the biggest streamer on Twitch. He
Okay.
also is behind the biggest scandal ever, maybe in gaming, maybe ever in gaming. But it
Really?
was involved with the CS:GO skin economy and gambling and stuff like that.
I Yeah, I
To
remember hearing
where
something like that.
he actually was removed from Twitch. They removed one of their largest, biggest streamers. They banned him off Twitch. Um, so I actually was in part of those circles with some of those guys, Hotted and a couple of them. I talked to those guys. I used to be with them. Like I've been on the edge of always being like with the biggest streamers. Never asked for a favor to like be like, hey, put a word in for me to get partner or anything. But like
Right.
just kind of always been in the background. Then this last year, I've streamed a lot. I've hit the ability to apply for partner. I did apply for partner, but like I don't do it full time. I do it when I
Right.
can, and I do it to have fun. So
Yeah.
it
You
is.
know,
What is your overall thought on Twitch from your first 3 months to Twitch today?
um man, that's a trap. um, I mean, so I it's just like anything else in life. I was listening to I don't want to get religious on anybody, but I
Backstreet
go to church
Boys.
and stuff. Yeah, I wasn't listening to Backstreet Boys, but
Oh, okay.
I was listening to what, somebody would call like a sermon, but anyway, um I'm not going to get preachy or anything like that, but basically the concept of the idea was, um you can't expect similar results with lack of effort. That's kind of basically what it is. It's like, when were you your healthiest? You were your healthiest when you were running the most, when you were playing the most, when you were active the most, right? When were you your happiest? What were you doing? You were doing the things that made you the happiest at the time, and you were doing it a lot, and that's basically the premise of the idea. And so, when I look back and I look at my first, 6 months to a year of streaming, especially the first 3 months, I was streaming 24-hour streams, 48-hour streams, back to back to back to back, like nonstop. I mean, you could probably, I'm sure my wife remembers, it was torture for her because I sold my soul to the idea of, growing an entertainment channel, and I was hyper enough to do it at the time, so I had a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and it worked. It blew up, and I met the right people, and it was doing really well. And then I kind of just lost my what's the word, gumption, or desire to really put in the amount of effort that it takes to really get there. And because it's not just, and then now, like, I don't want to deceive anybody, because nowadays it is not just effort alone. So back then, Justin TV just switching to Twitch, maybe the first year of that, by far it's being on there as much as you can. You're going to get viewership, you're going to grow just organically, right? Um, but
Well,
Twitch now, no. Like
I like to
it,
put it in this perspective because a lot of newer guys are always asking questions about how you grew or how you got so many followers or how do you get people in your channel.
right.
You hit it on the head right there with before back in the day, all you had to do was be persistent. You go out,
Yep.
if you're persistent, you're out there. I'm going to simplify numbers. This is not actually correct numbers, but if back in the day there's 1,000 streamers, you're streaming all the time. it's easier to look through a list of 1,000 and be like, hey, there's Ninja. Hey, there's Pineapple. Hey, there's Cindy Lou. Where now that number went from 1,000 to probably 100,000, over a
Right.
million. I mean, infinite, right? So like now, if you scroll through
Right.
a channel, especially on a popular game, you can
It's got
scroll
20,000,
forever.
30,000 streamers on it.
Yeah, you can scroll
Yeah.
forever to find somebody, and some of those people are going to
Right.
be overlooked for many
Right.
of reasons. If maybe they don't have the best graphics yet, maybe they only have one viewer, and you're like, why do they only have one viewer? I think actually only having one or two viewers nowadays, people love to
Yeah.
go look for that. They look to go see,
Yeah.
hey, and they want, because they want to be the first. They want to like, hey, I just caught Shaded. No one knows
Yeah.
about him. If he blows up and I was there,
Yeah.
so that's maybe a good thing going for you now. But back then it was a lot easier. Now
Maybe.
you
I'm
have to
not
put
really though.
effort. You have to put effort. You have to actually have the talent. When I say the talent, you have to be extremely good at video games, extremely funny, or have a gag a act, right? Like
Right.
I'm not shitting on anybody, but like Doctor Disrespect, right? He
Right.
has
Yeah.
a
A
persona,
persona. Yeah. A
and
persona.
that itself could, on some channels, could be good
Maybe.
enough.
M-
If you
Maybe.
have
So
that plus
yeah.
comedy plus gaming, oh, triple threat, man.
Right. I would say like if you were if if I was going to give advice to somebody that's going to start streaming, my sister started, and the reason why I felt confident with her is she's doing art. So art is still an unsaturated, it's saturated, but it's not like it's more like newer Twitch, right? You could get away because you're doing artwork and you're different. It's not like somebody playing Cold War when there's 30,000 people streaming the game, right? Like that's just insane, right? Um, so if you're playing mainstream games, you're going to need a marketing team. You're going to need a marketing budget. You're going to need top notch, top quality alerts. You're going to need a social media marketing team. You're going to need a team of people to break into that market. There is no reason for you to give yourself false hope and think that you're going to break out. The only exception to that rule is if you are a god at the game. You still, though, are going to need to get into some kind of organization where you're competing in tournaments to where you can get known somewhere else to draw those people to you, right? Now, if you are still wanting to try to stream and you can't afford a marketing team, you can't afford the alerts and the graphics and the all the crazy stuff that's going to draw people to you, you're going to have one hell of a YouTube channel. That's the only other way I see you breaking into the market. Other
I
than that, it's
I gotta have a slight opposite of view on that. I do agree
right,
100% with most of what you're saying, but there is still, and when I say still, it's a smaller chance. There is a smaller chance that you as an individual can do it. But you have to understand, you as an individual will have to do all the stuff you just named that people have
right,
teams for doing now. So
right.
it just, as I said a minute ago, is so much harder these days. It's
Right.
easier if you have a team, you have backing, this and that, but still, some young guy, some old guy, for all it takes, if they had the time and the effort to pump out all that stuff, you
Yep.
could do it. But
And the talent.
you'd be doing that for quite a while
Right.
before you got anything in return. Anything, but I
6
mean,
months, 6
is
months to a year.
viewers maybe, any compensation, any recognition. So you would have to do that and do it every. I'm not going to say every day, but I am going to say every day for a long time until finally you did break through. So you could do it, but it would be so much harder. But if somebody had that
Yeah.
drive, because there is somebody out there that'd be like, you
Right.
know what, I can do that. It would just be a
Right.
lot harder on that person, but it would probably be a lot more satisfying at the
Yeah.
end. But you would get a team eventually. You would be like, hey, I need a team.
Right. Well, see, even when I started, there were people jumping on to the grind. There were plenty of people playing Black Ops, Call of Duty, and on the grind. There were plenty of streamers that I was competing with to get the most viewers, to be at the top of the list, to be the person getting exposure, and I remember I was just literally I found the loophole at that time, which was just not going offline. I was streaming back to back. As a matter of fact, the same guy I mentioned earlier, Kirk, I streamed and I had to work because I was still fixing computers and working, and I left the stream on and he came in and was talking to chat through his microphone over whatever app we were using while I'm working in the background to get my jobs done, so I didn't go offline so I could stay fresh and stay on the top because I had so many people watching. So I was just trying to maintain that viewer number to stay up at the top so people would be exposed to my channel so I could just keep meeting new people. And I mean, after 3 months of that, we were just nonstop. And so even after 3 months, I was still streaming, but too in my opinion, too much for your health, like too much for your mental health. You got to have a break. And so that's kind of what happened with me is I wore myself out mentally and emotionally, and then of course,
So
some negative things happened.
since we are talking so much about how we grew and how we think you could do it, let me give
Right.
you guys a little bit of advice on some cheat codes because there are cheat codes, okay? And these are two ways of kind of jumping 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps forward, but there's a huge risk with taking these cheat codes. They're not actual cheat codes, I'm just calling them that. But they're where some people are going to grow stuff. If someone comes to my channel or Pineapple's channel that's been here for a while, those guys are almost like family. And I mean, I'm going to say they are family because we talk to them, we know what's going on. But there are these cheat codes, and I don't recommend them, but you can do it, and it's almost selling your soul. The first one, and it's the worst one, I got to say, I did this in 2014 for a little while, and then I was actually fortunate enough to keep doing it. So it wasn't, I was doing it to be grateful at the end, but at the beginning, I was doing it for selfish reasons. But you can be a channel that gives away stuff. So I did CSGO. CSGO skins are very popular. They're worth actual money. I would give away skins. We hit a sub goal or we hit a follower goal. I would give away skins. If I hit a sub goal, we give away skins. If I hit a donation goal, I'd give away skins, and they would get better and better and better and more expensive. And when that happens, people will share you around because if they have any chance of winning something, if they have a chance of winning for free, they're definitely coming. If they have a better chance of, hey, everyone can enter for free, but if you're a sub, you get 5 times luck. It's gonna grow your channel, obviously. But the downfall to that is when people come, they're always gonna expect you to do giveaways. And that
Hmm.
comes into a very, very toxic relationship with you and your viewers. It's almost like you're you're a puppet and they're not there for anything else. If you try to one day, hey, you know what? I'm not doing CS:GO giveaways. I'm going to play zombies and do this. You'll see two things. Either one, hate in the chat, or two, viewership will just bottom right out. So,
Yep.
you can do it, don't recommend it. The other one, which is a little more or less selling your soul, but it is a great cheat code actually, is to find a really cool streamer that will sometimes play with people, play with viewers, a larger streamer, one that has some skill. And I've seen this happen many a times. They'll start showing that channel a little love, a donation here, donation there. Drop a big donation, be like, hey man, just let me get in a match with you. If you happen to get in a match with that person, you have your 30 seconds to shine. You drop something amazing, some amazing skill, some amazing comedy, that could draw people to your channel when they're like, "Oh, Ninja, they were playing with you. Oh, you're playing with me. Hey, I want you to play again." And you can get kind of exposure that way. But it is a cheat code. Essentially, you're soaking off somebody else. But I have seen people do that to get to the top. And if you have really good talent, it's a good way to jump up there because people will also want to use you as a teammate. If you can
Yeah.
carry, they're gonna use you. But
Yep.
also some people like to have I love playing with Pineapple because we get along, we have the same personality, and we can joke with each other and no one gets hurt, and it's actually funny. Big streamers, huge streamers that have only highly talented friends. A lot of humor's not in there. Those guys are usually really competitive and toxic when they're not doing well. So they love to have a comedic of relief that's actually pretty funny sometimes. So those have been, in my experience, the two cheat codes to hurdling past some of the natural growing on Twitch.
Oh yeah. I've been on the bad receiving end of one of those cheat codes. So one of the things that happened when I started to get, popular and had a lot of viewership and, um, I mean, I'll be transparent. I think I was making a couple grand a month off of the stream at some point. And that was before sponsors and because we didn't know. Obviously this was just people supporting the channel. And this is when I started to actually take the streaming more seriously because I was just like you when I started, and I'm like that now. I had a brief period of time where I thought of it like a business, but when I first started, it was just like this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna play video games with people. I'm gonna meet people, and this is gonna just be fun to do and always have somebody to play with. And then when it blew up, because obviously when you first start doing this, at least for me, I'm I'm just this fat guy in Florida. There's no way I'm gonna draw viewers in. You know what I mean? Um, so when it took off, I'm like, "Holy crap, man!" And then people started throwing money at me. I'm like, "Oh my god, are you guys crazy?" And I remember a lot of my streams were me going, "Guys, you don't have to give me money. Like, thank you, but you don't have to do this. Like, I'm not here to take your money. It's nice, and I'm gonna go buy some food with it, because obviously I'm a big guy, I like to eat, but you don't have to do this." And then um, as it started to get bigger, I'm like, well, maybe I should take this seriously because it could replace what I do for a living now, and I won't have to, you know, I won't have to, do the job I don't really care about. I could play video games all day. But the what I'm saying is the bad end. Let me get back to the topic. The talking to other streamers. So for me, I was a target for people that were wanting to do that. They were wanting to be in my stream, talk and entertain and be a part of what I was doing because it would help them grow. And I was completely okay. I'm still okay with that. I do it with Ninja and everybody else, and I don't care about. I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to, you know, I'm not here to do it as a business. I'm here for fun, and if it happens to blow up, that'd be great. But I'm never going to take it like I did one period, like a business. I'm doing it for fun. So, um, but sometimes you can get somebody that is just using you, and those people will wiggle their way into your community and root in and say some harsh things and make up lies. I mean, it had to happen to me twice. And the worst part is the original people that first started coming to my stream, and I could name them all. I know all their names. I know well their usernames. And some of them I know their personal names. Most of those people got told lies that destroyed the relationship that they had created with me. And that was probably the worst thing that ever happened to me streaming. That alone. I don't care about the money. I don't care about, how many people were watching my channel. It's probably about 26 to 30 individuals that were originally a part of the community that um, were lied to and got stolen from my life. That's the most important thing to me. And there's plenty of people out there that I connected with, and that's what I said. That's what tainted it for me on Twitch is like just all the stuff that happened and all these relationships that I built. Because for me, if you guys, I mean, most of you guys have been here for a long time. I know Ninja's been here for a long. Like I didn't even realize when Ninja came in. Like I didn't know that he had been a part of the community so long. And so for me,
Oh.
right. So, right, you've been here for a long time, right? Like you've been here since like you're one of the OGs, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think my follower time is over 5 years.
Right. So he knows me. I mean, he's known me that long. So if you know me and you've been watching the stream, I genuinely care about people. And so you know, when someone is offended or hurt by even something I didn't do, something that's made up, right? That hurts the inner part of me so much, man. That's like the worst thing that can happen to me as a person because I genuinely care about people. I want people to feel loved and happy. I want them to, find peace and joy and love in their life regardless of what it is. Even if it doesn't line up with what I believe is true, I still want people to be happy and want people to be, content with their life and successful and all those good things. So that's the only thing, man. That it as long as you're a good person and also protect yourself, always guard your heart and yourself
Well, it
when
it
you're getting
is
involved.
it is that slippery slope, man. Like I said,
It is.
there's a ways I've seen people jump up, but in the same sense, there's always, and it's unfortunate because I hate to sound like that person, but it is true. There's always somebody out there looking to take advantage, and
Right.
it is unfortunate. I think that these days we have a pretty good community growing, and
We do.
it's a little easier to spot sometimes when someone's doing that now that I've been in the game for so long. But it does
Same.
happen. The best
Same.
thing I've noticed to do is I try to stomp it out right away, and then I pay no attention. Like we
Right.
have great people these days, great people to
We
stream
do.
with and stuff like that. So the Twitch in the beginning days was very cutthroat. I think it probably still is in some sense, but like I don't have that in my community at this point. I'm really glad too. We have some really good people with us.
We do. We do. I see you in the chat there, Ninja. It's a different Ninja, but yeah. Um, yeah, I honestly like I learned a lot, and I can admit this, man. I honestly was probably the most uh I wouldn't say inept. That's not the right word. I grew up very restricted, if that makes any sense to anybody. Like, so my social skills when it comes to like knowing the variety of people that exist in the world is like minimum. If I could combine, if I could make an analogy or whatever for it, like I'm eating vanilla ice cream my whole life, and there's like 7 billion flavors out in the world. Like, so when I got onto Twitch, man, I was like on overload, like at the amount of different personalities and ideas and opinions, and like it's like I was not prepared for this, you know. So my early career, and even my skills on how to talk to people, that's improved because I've only dealt with very specific type of people my whole life. I mean, I'm a church brat, so I've been in church my whole life. I've been restricted to minimal friends, minimal, TV, internet, radio, music, all that stuff. Not so much now, but back when I first started. So um, I had no idea what to expect. Like, I was so clueless, man, and I would just get mad at people because I'm like, I would get mad at people for stuff because I'm like, why are you talking to somebody like that? And they're like, what? That's my opinion. I'm like, and I'm just like mentally stressed out, because I did not, I was just raised, Ninja knows, I was just raised to be like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Oh, that's great, and I've been raised to where like, even if I don't like what you're doing or think that what you're doing is cool or awesome or whatever, I was raised to be like, that's awesome. To always be positive because you like it. So if you like it and it's what you want to do, then I should not be the thing in your life that is negative. Like, I should be the thing that's going, yeah, and encourage you and, thumbs up. And for the longest time, not anymore, there was different people in the circle of friends that were cycling in and out constantly. Because when you have thousands of people in here, you're making friendships and people are getting upset, and it's just like hundreds of people at a time coming in and out of your life. It's crazy. It's a roller coaster. And you know, they would say, "Oh, you're two-faced." I'm like, "Why am I two-faced?" Well, because you don't like that stuff. I was like, just because I don't like it doesn't mean I have to be negative towards the person that does like it. And they're like, "Well, that's two-faced." I'm like, "No, it's not, man. Like, I'm a positive guy. Tough cat." So, that's just me. I just feel like, um, you know, I, I'm I want to encourage people to be happy, do what they want to do. Even if I don't agree with you or whatever. I mean, I don't want to be the
Yeah,
negative guy.
that
You know what
is
I mean?
that's a good way of looking at things too. I wish a lot of people actually looked that way. You don't have to have the same opinions
Right.
to be supportive of your friends.
Right.
But let's switch it a little bit. Let's switch it.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's switch it up. It
How
got a little serious.
how have we let's see. How how have you been doing with this not playing Warzone every night, man? How you been taking that?
Ah, nice.
Cuz what's a new addiction, sir? What is the new addiction?
The new addiction is Mandalorian and zombies, but zombies mainly.
Yeah,
But 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 man, dude, it's great. So, do you want me to ramble on, or you want me to let you ramble on a little bit? I've been rambling on for like an hour.
well, I want you to tell me just sum it up. Sum it up for me. How has Black Ops actually landed for you? Start
Okay,
to finish,
start to
the
finish.
three categories. I mean, we got multiplayer, campaign,
Campaign,
zombies.
multiplayer, zombies. Okay, so I'll start with the I don't want to say the lesser of the three, but I'm gonna say this. Okay,
That'd be
I'm a Black Ops
multiplayer.
guy. Yeah, I'm a Black Ops guy. I've always been a Black Ops guy. Campaign was good. It wasn't Modern Warfare good, but it was good. Would I play it again? Maybe, but I would play modern. I played Modern Warfare's 3 times, so that just goes to tell you how good that campaign is. Multiplayer.
Well, let me
I
pause you real quick. Let's
okay, go
hit
ahead.
let's hit each category. So for the
Okay,
campaign for you, it was good, but it wasn't great.
let's just say this: because we've been through the ride we've been through in Black Ops in the past, it was a relief that it wasn't the same nonsensical roller coaster that we've been on with 3 and 4.
So
If that
I,
makes any sense.
if this is my look on the campaign. I actually was more hyped up over the campaign than maybe zombies or multiplayer, and that's saying a lot because I'm a huge zombies fan. But I do got to
Right.
say the campaign's good, but it's not what I expected, and I don't want to say it lands a little flat, but I'm the same boat as you. I don't think I ran through it. I only ran through the first half on stream, and I went ahead and knocked the rest out because I was a little confused on why it wasn't like any other campaign that I've played. I was like, all right, babe. Make sure to bring my dinner because I'm not getting up. I'm going to knock this campaign out. With this one, I had no problem taking breaks. It didn't have me
Right.
addicted like the other campaigns. And I love, out of most of the Call of Duties, I want to say they have a 90% ratio where they hit the story and you're like, yes, I love this story. I
Right.
still to this day say the best story, and I know it's not the most popular game, but is Call of Duty Ghost. They still
Right.
have us hanging 9 years later on a cliffhanger that I want finished. Okay, the brother on the beach was fucking bleeding out. They were not dead, boys. They were not dead. But this
Yeah,
one, this one was a good
it's
campaign.
true.
But you're right. I wouldn't. I want to say I would not play it again. I just wouldn't.
So here's where I'll tell you. I'll tell you where I believe the game lost me, and that is, you probably have heard that we've heard this in gaming, but my immersion. So when they make you stop and walk around and talk like you're in an open world RPG to each one of the players for story content, and it's like mediocre story content, it's just a time filler kind
Well,
of
what
thing.
about side quests too? They should be linear, start to
It,
finish,
and,
right?
and and that's the thing, like the side quest thing and the map and the board and all of that. It was just, it was just too much.
Yeah, it
So
missed it with me too.
yeah, so that's to me that's what broke that campaign up. Because if you go back to Modern Warfare and you look at that campaign, there's none of that breakup. It's just you start, like you said, you sat down, you got a cup of coffee or a Monster or your Dr Pepper and a bag of chips, and you're like, let's do this, and you play through. Now I can say that I had it in the back of my mind. I'm streaming. I'm going to play this campaign start to finish, and I had to do a 2-part stream because of the stupid board, right?
Yeah,
Like that was, to me, that was like the downfall. Now, if we're only looking at the story and the gameplay and the movies, the little cutscenes in between, and the cool little zombie pit that I found when we're getting into the game, and you fall in the zombie pit if you make the certain specific choice because there's multiple endings or whatever. Spoiler alert. Um, all of that to me was really awesome. They did a great job for gameplay, for the campaign, for the fights and the battles, and the cutscenes. They were all fantastic, top notch. They usually always are, even when they're confusing and the stories, freaking like Black Ops 3 and 4 just drove me nuts. But um, the little breaks in the little pre-war room, that nonsense, man, that's just, take that crap, don't do that again. It just
yeah.
destroys the immersion of the game, and it really ruins the flow. And like you said, the side quests, which don't
Well,
it, it,
you got to put it in
it's
order
just
for me, okay? And I
yeah,
look at all these in the past, and they're exactly like a
yeah,
book, chapter one through chapter whatever, and you play
right,
through it. You don't pick where you go next. It takes you through this linear story that gets better and better with the ending. With this one, you can go through the game and beat the game without doing any of those side quests. And those side quests, some of them have okay info for the story, but you don't have to even do it. That seems to
right,
me like for one well, this is where Call of Duty Black Ops actually. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but this Call of Duty Black Ops, they went back to the beginning and they made it to where anybody can play. I think that's their goal for this game is they want the OGs to
yeah.
play it, but they also want to make it friendly for anybody else. So you can have any
Which
level of player come play it.
right, and I'm gonna say that. I mean, I hate to. I mean, I know I don't hate to interrupt you. I am interrupting you, but I agree. I agree. Like, but I'm not necessarily mad about that. That was gonna be one of the things I was gonna say, which is cool that you brought it up because I was gonna say, I do like how they return to this um, it's a game. It's a game, guys. Like I am a fan of picking up a game and it being slightly easy, slightly simplified. I'm okay with that because I'm not trying to sit down and pour buckets of sweat and be stressed to the max. It's a game. It's supposed to be fun and lighthearted and entertaining and it can have intense moments without making the gameplay Dark Souls. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fan. I mean, I like that part of it personally, just because I'm getting older and I just don't want to be stressed out anymore. Like I think that's why I'm like not a big fan of multiplayer anymore. I used to play multiplayer nonstop and religiously play and be the top competitor, try to be the best of the best, and I'm just not like that anymore.
Well,
So
hold your thought on the easiness because we're gonna have to come back to that in zombies. But let's hit
right,
multiplayer before we go there. And I'm gonna go with multiplayer on. I haven't given it a whole lot of opportunity. I gave it a lot of opportunity in the beta, and when I played
right,
the release, it didn't change a whole lot. And I'm not gonna say it's a bad multiplayer.
right,
I'm just gonna say I think in my gaming career, I've probably moved on from multiplayer. Before I absolutely loved hitting low on the leaderboard, being top 10, top 20, top 50 in the world. I've got a screenshot from almost every Call of Duty to where I've hit, and the best one I ever hit was Modern Warfare 3, number 3 in the world, and I held it for 3 weeks. Being on the leaderboard and just doing that stuff, guys. But this that drive's gone, so when I hop in multiplayer now, uh, I don't feel that drive, so I just kind of get on there. It's very repetitive, and with how I game lately, it's not my flow. So I don't not like it. It
right,
seems fine. It's just not for me.
right. Yeah, so I'm there. Let's just be real. I'm 37, and I'm not as physically active as I used to be. Like I
Bro,
need to exercise more.
you don't look a day over 36, bro.
37. But my thing is this is like we know for a fact that there is a large amount of people. We can call them hackers, we can call them modifiers, we can call them software boosting, whatever you want to call them, right? Whatever you want to call these guys, there are an enormous and I can tell you that when somebody find I know this is America, okay, capitalism, okay, this just business 101. If you have a product that you can't even keep stock on because it's selling out, that's a large amount of number. Because I'll tell you why. Because if I'm a business owner and I make a little device that helps you cheat at a game, and all of a sudden a million people want to buy it, I'm going to make a million of them. I'm going to make 5 million. I'm going to keep making them until I can't, until nobody wants to buy them anymore.
Hey, did
So
you
when you're
ever
out of stock for 6 months, 10 months, 12 months at a time, you're always out of stock. One, you're happy because you're selling your product. But when you think about the amount of numbers that is, that's a lot of people modifying and cheating at the game. You know what I'm saying? And this is just something that we can physically look at because there's a company selling a physical product, right? That helps people cheat at a game.
did you
We're not
ever
even
own a Game
including
Boy or any handheld, maybe a PlayStation 1 or
I
original
had
Xbox?
The Sega one. What was the Sega one called?
Oh
The first
God,
one.
what
You
was
remember
that
that thing?
called?
It was color. You could play Sonic the Hedgehog on it.
Man, well, I don't
The
know if I'm
Game
gonna be able
Gear,
to.
Sega Game Gear.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hit you on this or not, but do you know what a Game Shark is?
Yeah, I know what Game Shark is. I had Game Sharks, the little gold cartridges you'd shove into your Nintendo.
Oh, you motherfucker! Okay, and essentially, we have New Age Game Sharks. For anybody
We
who
do.
doesn't know, I don't even know if I want to advertise it actually, but it's known. It's called Chronos Zen, Chronos Max, and
Yeah,
it essentially for most first-person shooters, it can manipulate
right.
or compromise. What is the correct word I'm looking for?
I'm gonna say that it gets rid of your. It helps you aim. So if a gun has recoil, it puts the right amount of anti-recoil on the specific weapon, so your gun has no recoil.
Yeah,
That alone is a huge advantage.
it also utilizes a engine in the game that shouldn't be in the game, but it's been put into a game to help
Right.
new gamers. Every new
Right.
first person shooter has a aim assist, whether you
Yep.
want it or not. And most of the games you can pick um the lower version to the medium to the high, but you can't actually take away from it. With having that
Right.
device, it will amplify it to the max, and it doesn't, but it almost 100% auto aims for you. You add
Right.
that plus no recoil, even a mediocre gamer becomes baby Jesus at that point.
Right.
It
And then
it
if you have
does
a guy
happen.
like right. And here's the thing, it's like these aren't just mediocre gamers using this. I mean, these are guys who know what they're doing, play with controller. And I mean, if you just put a guy that's been playing, a year on Call of Duty, right? And has some skill, and then you give him no recoil and an hyper aim assist feature that can't be detected, dude, it's insane. It's a night and day difference. And we don't know how many people, but we know it's in the millions of people that are using it because there's no way this business is not selling millions of these devices. There's just no way. And it's on console, it's on PC, it's everywhere, it's undetectable. And then this is not
It's
including just even running software hacks.
mostly console for this device.
Right.
Mostly console because it utilizes controller. I
Right.
think that some people can utilize it on PC with controller, but it's a lot harder. I think anybody who
Right.
cheats on PC goes hardware at that point.
Right. Right.
But
And we're talking about crossplay, so everybody's playing together nowadays anyway.
yeah,
But yeah,
it's unfortunate. You're gonna run across them. It's nowadays
right.
gamers. It's
So that's
actually
why multiplayer has lost its luster for me. 'Cause I'm ethical about. I'm not going to cheat. I want to be good at something. If that makes any sense.
yeah, and with knowing that there is a volume of cheaters out there, like I said, I don't play multiplayer, but I guess we could skip over and then come back. But we do play a lot of Warzone. Battle Royale is my game mode of choice these days. It's my addiction.
Yeah.
Playing that, we run into hackers. You run into manipulators. You run into other people like that. But it is very fulfilling knowing that we can still pull wins out. Because
Every once in a
during
while.
one of those wins, there was matches with hackers, and you can kill a hacker. You sure can, but you can kill a hacker with the Chronos Zen for sure. People with hardware hacks, they may be really OP, but it's a nice feeling to know that you can still claim wins, and they're not just only cheaters winning at these days.
True.
Let's
Yeah.
get off
Which is a
cheating because
testament
I
to.
know you absolutely hate cheating. So I laid the wrong fire. Tell me about
No, no,
zombies.
no. It's good. No, it's what I'm saying because I mean, that's just a testament to the skill like that we have and other gamers have to be able to be good enough to counter somebody using exploits and cheats, in the game. But yeah,
Yeah, I think we're very lucky, and I could be wrong, but maybe you just don't see it a whole lot. But I don't think anybody has the ability to like go full god mode.
right.
I think you
But
could
I think
still
Warzone.
kill.
Go ahead.
I think you still kill people. I just don't think they have the ability to be like if you shoot them, they don't die, which is awesome. Because if that
Right.
happened, then it would ruin the fucking game.
Right. And I would even say that when we talk about multiplayer, I would classify, Warzone and Battle Royales as a separate, you know, type of multiplayer altogether.
Oh yeah,
The
definitely.
three yeah, because the 3 lane 6v6 multiplayer, that's a whole nother animal. And I've always been, since the beginning of Call of Duty, I've always been a hardcore fan. Like I've always played hardcore, one bullet, one shot, that's all it takes. Kill him the first time. I don't want to put 600 bullets in a guy that's hopping around, on boxes and jumping up and down. and crouching and laying down, going prone and dancing around. And I don't want to. I want to shoot you and I want you to die. If one bullet's all it takes, So that's me. So
I
I'm not a true multiplayer purist. Never have been. So
I
I'm
actually
already
had that. I
biased,
had that on my list already when I was going to ask you about multiplayer. Was
right?
your preferred hardcore or core? Because that's a great conversation on how people enjoy to play and the two broadly different styles of playing when you play core to hardcore.
Right.
So you enjoy
Yeah.
hardcore because of the time to kill, or
Yeah, I want to. So my thing is that, and this is my opinion and my idea, and it's probably not true at all. And I'm sure people would counter this argument. So don't take this as me attacking you or saying your opinion or idea is wrong. But from my perspective, if I kill you with one bullet in hardcore because I'm aware of my surroundings, I know the map, and I'm getting the shot off, to me, that's the ultimate test of true skill in the game. And it levels the playing field with anybody that might want to cheat or hack or whatever because it's an instant. I don't have to put 16 bullets in you. So, and I don't have to rely on aim assist. I just have to rely on that initial first aim in because I know that most of the time my aim is going to be right on you, right at your face, right at your chest. It's going to be there. So I know that I'm quick and I've got good aim and I'm going to hit the shot. And so I've always excelled in hardcore, no matter what it's been. Because core, you got, dude, it's that aim assist thing and aiming instead, keeping the aim on the person while they're jumping around. I mean, that's probably why my aim is garbage in Warzone, to be honest with you, because I'm not used to playing core. I'm used to putting one bullet and they're dead. You know what I mean? So,
the
um,
the only problem I have with hardcore, and I used to play a lot of hardcore, but the only problem I have with hardcore is it attracts bad players. And when I say it attracts bad players, because of what you just said is exactly what they do, but in a different sense.
they
The
just spray around every corner.
No, they're the
With
cockroaches that hang around every corner,
Oh,
crouching
you're
and
talking about the
waiting,
Camp Nation. Yeah,
dude. And
hardcore
and
attracts
then
camping. Yeah.
so it's a person like me who's very aggressive. I love to go get my kills, keep pushing. You'll have one guy right there just sitting in a corner that you shouldn't even be in a multiplayer match where you're going head to head, and they'll fuck your kill streak or they'll fuck whatever. And I mean, like in hardcore, there's so many of those guys sometimes where if that happened to me in core, they better have a great shot because if they come at me from a corner, I do have a chance to turn around and fucking spray them down. So that is
I'm
my
one of those
only
guys.
downfall. That's my only downfall in that. And I will say, like, I love to like drop big kill streaks, or if a game has a nuke, I've seen it,
Yes.
I've done it, but it doesn't happen as often in hardcore because of those little roaches, man. Because of those little
Right.
roaches.
You know what's funny? Here's a fact for you guys. I've never dropped a nuke in any Call of Duty ever.
Oh man,
I've
it's
never
the
dropped a
best
nuke.
feeling. It's the best feeling, dude.
I I I m- I don't have a memory of one. I don't think I ever did. I honestly I don't know. I don't think I've ever dropped it. Maybe wait a minute, hold on. I can't say that's true. Maybe Modern Warfare uh when what would be the first game that had a nuke?
Modern Warfare 2 is the first game that had a nuke. It was an end game nuke. The
I think
easiest the easiest
no.
game that someone may have got a nuke in would be Modern Warfare 3 was the Moab. Modern Warfare 2 was the end game nuke. Modern Warfare 3 was a Moab where Moab the map, it turned into like a lot of like it looked like a nuke map, but the game continued on. You got all the
Could you?
kills.
Yeah, you could nuke in multiplayer in Modern War or in Black Ops 2. You could, couldn't you?
There
I, I
was
I think I've dropped a nuke in Black Ops 2. If you can, I think I did.
I'm gonna have to say there's not a nuke. Let me Google
There's
this.
not a nuke.
I want to say that no Black Ops except for this one had like a VLK missile.
There is a multiplayer. Maybe it was Modern Warfare 3. I have I honestly, man, I don't want to say I did because I don't want to lie, but I may have dropped one, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I doubt it. I just never. That's not really a goal I ever had. I'm never like again. I've said this. I'm not. I've never been a multiplayer guy. I did the custom games in Black Ops 2 because that was fun, and we did Shotgun Madness, and we had the Bettys, and I love Shotgun Madness. That was my favorite game mode.
So
Um,
Black Ops 2 did have a nuke. You had to unlock it first by doing whatever, but then it
okay.
was 25 because Black Ops 2 was a score streak game,
Yes.
but the
Yeah.
nuke was a 25 kill streak.
That's the game I got it in. I know for
without
sure.
any other score streaks on.
Right. That's the game I got it in. I know if it was any game that I got a nuke in, my memory. If I'm not gonna say 100%, but probably like I'm 80% sure that I got a nuke in Black Ops 2 in a multiplayer game on Nuketown because it's such a small map.
I've dropped a nuke in every game. There's a nuke. I actually dropped a nuke third week in on Modern Warfare, the new one out, and it
Holy
was
crap!
amazing. But I've always been that person to be like, there's this adrenaline rush that you get. It's always been 25, except for this last game was 30. But there's that adrenaline rush you get when you finally get to 18, 20, 23 kills, and you're just like, please don't come behind me. Don't. Hey, you're yelling at your teammates. Don't flip the spawn. You know, like you're just freaking out, and it is the best. It is this adrenaline rush
That's
and this
funny.
high that you can just like. It's unthinkable thing. You're
That's
like,
funny.
I can't do that. Black Ops or Modern Warfare 2 was the best in my opinion because your kill streaks work together. So I ran Harrier, AC-130, nuke. So all I had to do was get my Harrier. I throw my Harriers out. Most of the time, they would get me to my AC-130. If not, it'd be a kill away. I get a kill, jump my AC-130. Your AC-130 on most maps gets you your nuke. So all you got to do is not die during your kill streaks. You can get a nuke, and it was fun. I loved it. Like the end game nuke, there ain't nothing better than dropping a mic. Like your team's losing, you're not actually playing the objectives because you're getting kills. End game, you won.
No, I honestly I think I've only got it once in Black Ops 2 if I got one, but I never really like. I don't know, man. I've said this before. I'm a gamer, but I'm not like that gamer. I'm not the. I didn't grow up with games full time. I wasn't allowed to play. I didn't have a lot of the consoles. You know, I had a couple, but I had a few games. My parents were. I grew up poor, man. My parents were broke, so buying a bunch of stuff, I didn't really get involved. I didn't read comic books that much. I didn't get to do a lot of stuff. I was sheltered. So, but yeah, no, it's good. You want to talk about zombies?
I do. I want to talk. I want you to unload on me, man. I know that
All right,
you've
I'm gonna
got
unload a bunch.
you've put a lot of work into it. You
I
actually
have.
hit the max level before me in zombies, and just tell me
Nice.
your opinion before we go back.
Okay.
If we time travel at all, tell me your opinion on this zombies map, this zombies mode, how it feels, and your thoughts on it.
Okay. So obviously I've been playing zombies since Black Ops 2, and then I found out Black Ops 1 had zombies, which I didn't know. And so I went back and played that. So I've played Black Ops 1 zombies all the way up till uh now.
The
Um
original zombies is World at War.
is World of War. I have played World of War as well, but I didn't do well in World of War zombies. Their zombies were different. It was weird and the map was sluggish and the controls seemed off because I was used to playing. I started in Black Ops 2 zombies. That's what I'm trying to say. So for me, Black Ops 2 zombies and all the Black Ops 2 zombies maps, which I knew all the Easter eggs by heart, could do them all by myself solo, um, and carry people through them. To me, that zombies will be. It's like my Batman was Michael Keaton, right? I don't know if that's your Batman. Is that your Batman?
That is not my Batman, but continue,
That's not
sir.
your Bat. Who's your Batman?
Dude, Christian Bell is my Batman.
Okay, Christian Bale is your Batman.
Christian
Witnessing.
Bell
Okay,
is my Batman, bro. Come
okay,
on.
okay. So I'm 37. How old are you, Ninja? I don't even know how old you are.
I'm 37, man.
You're 37. How is Christian Bale your Batman? I thought it'd be Michael Keaton.
No, man. No, I got to tell you, I love superhero movies, but I
Right.
think that love came later in life. I didn't read comics and stuff when I was younger.
Okay.
My love came from that stuff a little bit later, but I do think I've watched them all. I do enjoy them all, but I think the Dark Knight trilogy is the best Batman trilogy.
Right.
It's such a good story.
Let's put a
Uh,
pin in the Batman. Let's put a pin in the Batman. Let's save it for another podcast. We're gonna get off that. But look, I was just asking because I'm putting that as like so. Basically, I'm using that as an analogy. But we need to write that down so we can talk about superhero movies because that's a whole nother podcast. Man.
you could probably
There's so
spend
many
the whole one
superhero
on
movies.
Batman, just so you know.
We could could go off for another 2 hours with the podcast on that. So I was saying that because like my Batman is Michael Keaton. Some Batmans would be Christian Bale, and now there's kids that would say that Ben Affleck is their Batman, which but anyway, he's not a bad Bruce Wayne, but I wouldn't say he's the best Batman. So anyway, so for me, Black Ops 2 is my quote unquote Batman of zombies. It's my gauge for what I feel the best controller feel, Easter egg, the way that the Easter eggs flowed in Black Ops 2. For me, that was the pinnacle of zombies. So I say that all to lead up to Cold War zombies. So I feel like they brought it back to Black Ops 2 zombies, which for me is phenomenal. I think that this feels more like what I consider zombies because in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, it got a little nut job on me. It got weird, and I didn't really care for Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 zombies. But that might be making people mad, but that's my opinion. I mean, so do you want to go into detail about that?
What's your favorite? Before you go farther than that, what's your favorite Black Ops 2 zombies map?
Um, Alcatraz.
I don't think Alcatraz was Black Ops 2.
Yeah, wasn't it?
No.
Am I full of it? Am I full of crap?
Yeah, I don't think Black Ops 2 was so Black Ops
Yeah,
2.
yeah. Black Ops 2 Alcatraz. Yeah, yeah. I just googled it just to make sure. Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead.
Wow, is that how when it started?
Yeah, Mob of the Dead, man. That was like the map for me. That was my favorite. I'll tell you why.
2013. Wow.
Yeah. I'll tell you
So
why.
for
I'll go
some
into
reason
detail.
I'm thinking that Shangri-La 5
Right.
Ascension.
That sounds like all Black Ops 1.
Oh my god, dude, maybe I do have it wrong all this time. Ascension was Black Ops 1 for sure. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you just blew my mind, man. Holy
Yeah, yeah,
smokes.
yeah. So yeah, for me, um now Shangri-La, no. But I think is that Black Ops? No, I think that's Black Ops. I don't know. I don't want to quote it. I can Google it real quick. But anyway, so I'll tell you why. So for me, Mob of the Dead, or I called it Alcatraz most of the time. Mob of the Dead was my favorite, mainly because just the artwork and the difference in the way the zombies looked and the smaller staircases and the narrow pathways, and I felt like you could really get the gameplay felt intense, most of the time because of how narrow everything was. And so, for me, Mob of the Dead was the map. Plus, I loved getting the tomahawk. I loved the feeding the dogs. I loved, going outside, and then I loved going on the plane and then flying over to the bridge and just the whole story arc of breaking out of jail and just the Easter egg completion itself. It was easy and it was fun and it was just and then you get to the bridge and you've got all these powerful weapons and your tomahawk is what it went from red to blue if you upgraded it the second time or whatever. Just to me it was so much fun uh playing. So for me that was the pinnacle of zombies. To me that was what it was, and I had the most fun. I had the
My
most fun playing Black Ops
my
2.
favorite map of all time has got to be Moon.
Okay.
Moon was the most underrated map and the best Easter egg, in my opinion, blowing up the Earth. I mean,
Mhm.
you actually when you went to Pack a Punch, when you Pack a Punch, you went to Nuketown. Like a lot of people didn't understand where you teleported to. You teleported to
Right.
Nuketown to Pack a Punch. It
Right.
it was one of my favorite and one of the first Easter eggs I was able to actually knock out by myself and help figure out. Like I didn't have to get on YouTube. I got on there, messed around, and eventually we figured it out. And it was like it was so fulfilling, like.
Absolutely.
But
And that's Black Ops 1.
that's why I was one. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so for me, here's the deal. I would agree with you that that is one of the funnest maps and underrated maps, right? And the Easter egg is obviously dope, right? It's just a cool Easter egg. If they were to remake that map with the mechanics and the controls and the comforts of Black Ops 2 or even the newest Black Ops, I feel like it would be a lot better.
I
I
think
didn't like
I think they
Black Ops
did.
1's. Did they?
So I think in
I
that Revelations pack or Chronicle Zombie Chronicles, I think
Yeah.
that that Moon is one of the remake maps where they updated, and I maybe they even put it. Was Black Ops 2 with the gumballs?
No, that was 3.
So I think they had, I think they did it in Black Ops 3 then, but they did remake Moon, and it looked beautiful. It played a little different, so like a little more updated zombies. But
Right.
I gotta say, if I had to pick, I would probably go with the original Moon. I would love to have the better graphics, but like, I did like how the original Moon played. I did like the original. I know I shouldn't because everything has progressed since then, but it felt good for me back
Right.
then. Um,
Yeah.
so like Moon's one of my favorites. Buried was a very good map. I like Buried.
Right. Buried was good. I like so that's the cool part is like I got into zombies in Black Ops 2, and then my friend Kirk took me into Black Ops 1 and War to War and all that stuff, and got me to play all the other ones. And so I do have a love for the other maps and the other Easter eggs. I just feel like I'm talking about the whole experience of like, I think the controls in Black Ops 1 drive me nuts. I feel like the running and the aiming and the all of it feels so off. But that's because I started in Black Ops 2. So if you started in Black Ops 1, then Black Ops 2 probably just feels like natural progression, right? But for me, it's like going back and playing Mario again. I'm terrible at Mario, by the way, and I
yeah.
used to be able to crush Mario like it was nothing. But um, yeah, so that's why I liked this game, because when I played Black Ops 3, um, the control scheme was fine. I didn't care for all the it was too much, man. It's just too much going on for me.
So
I don't know why.
can
It
you
drove me nuts.
can you name another map that? Can you name any other map? There's no map like this one. But can you name another map that it was as easy to pack a punch as this map? This current map.
Oh, bro, this was like the fastest, simplest, least
Well,
path of
it
resistance.
showed you how to do it though, right? There's been no other map that we were able to just walk across or it show us with a pack a punch. Usually we that's a small Easter egg, an easier one to say, right? Most
Right.
maps you had
So
to do something to unlock the pack a punch.
right, and so this is like a whole topic that I was talking about the other day, is that they have made the Easter egg progression pretty simple, but I think it's because they want to get people interested. I'm not sure if every map that's going to come out is going to be this easy.
Well, remember that pin we put in here earlier? Let's go ahead and pull that out. This is my I don't want to say it's a complaint. It's a slight um it's a slight worry for me that
Right.
they backtracked on this Call of Duty a little bit to make it open to everybody, and it's smart. So anybody can jump in, play. They see all these things, but there's a small thing it takes away from OG players.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool to do things and jump in there and not have to sweat on them. But some things people look forward to, especially the zombie community, is something to get out there and for them to work towards and try to figure out. I've
Right.
never, ever seen Easter eggs solved this fast, ever.
Right.
And when it gets
Well,
solved this fast, it takes a little bit away from the map because
here's what
now
I
you're not
think.
trying to look for things anymore.
Well, here's what I think. I think that we have not solved the difficult Easter egg. I think that there is at least, if not two more layers, there's one more layer that we don't know about yet.
Well,
One,
100% the main Easter egg's been solved. The main Easter egg with the cutscene has 100% been solved. There has to be one more, a side one. I think it has something to do with the weapon, the red monster.
right.
He
The
has there.
wonder weapon can definitely be packed.
I don't think it can
I
be
know that
packed. I think something can
I know
happen
that you
to it.
guys say it can't, but I'm 100% positive. that not because I have any facts, not because I have any fact, not because I have any evidence. Okay, because
Hold on,
don't
Facebook fact checkers just hit me up. They said you are wrong.
Facebook and Twitter has just now marked this stream and all my comments with there's another broader conversation available. No, so so when I went to the Pack-a-Punch machine with the ray gun, which is a yellow gun, right? It's marked as yellow. It's not orange, which is the top level you can get your weapon to, right? Your regular weapon, your standard weapons. But because the ray gun is I guess a wonder weapon, right? Its color is yellow. When I went to the Pack-a-Punch machine, I was able to pack that yellow gun. And the wonder weapon is a yellow gun. And when you go to the Pack-a-Punch machine, it's not disabled. It's not blanked out. There is an option to buy a pack for it. And I say this, the only evidence I would have for you is two things. When you go to the machine, the option is there, it's not grayed out. The other one is at a higher round, that gun starts to get a little weak. Even the absorption of the zombie starts to get dumber and dumber, which means for me, it would make sense that probably with the red dude in the ether is going to be what unlocks somehow the ability to pack or upgrade your wonder weapon that
Well,
they give you.
I hope you're right, but let me tell you
Me
why
too.
you're wrong.
Because
So
in history
in
they've never let you.
every other game, you've not been able to pack the wonder weapon, but also in every other game, you have been able to interact with the. It interacts differently, right? But in every other game, even
Right.
with a wonder weapon, you can click on it; it just doesn't let you pack it. So like it's
Right.
almost the same thing. I do think there's at least one more Easter egg to be done. I do think it has to do with the wonder weapon. Maybe we don't get to pack it, but it definitely does something to it to upgrade it. But I don't know that they would pack the wonder weapon. I sure hope they do, but I just don't. I could
I
be
mean, it'd
wrong.
be
Like I
cool.
said,
It'd be cool. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm just saying it would be cool. And I mean, obviously there's at least one or two Easter eggs not found yet.
yeah, I think so. I think there's always there's a few Easter eggs that just barely got solved from Black Ops
Right.
Three, side
So here's
ones
my
that are like funny
God.
ones, right? But
Right.
I think story Easter egg on all the other ones were a little more difficult to figure out, and people love that. It's an addiction. This
Right.
one, people were able to figure out very quickly. It wasn't that hard. You, and Josh were playing the first night before the Easter eggs were unlocked, and you, and Josh were noticing things to do the Easter egg already before it was even
Right.
available. Like we were like, yeah, we're gonna have to go back to the Dark Ether because the first night you couldn't go back. You can only go the first time for the Pack-a-Punch.
Yeah.
And we were
Well,
like, yeah, you're gonna have to go back there, and it was just
yeah.
too obvious.
Yeah, it was
Um,
very obvious. It wasn't very yeah, it was a little that's the thing that kind of makes me question though, like um so like here's the thing. The you remember
yes,
Origins, right? That's
with the
Black Ops
staffs,
2,
with the
correct?
staff.
Okay.
That
What is it?
is
The staffs.
that's either one of the last maps in Black Ops 2 or that was in Black Ops 3. I can't.
Right.
They're all merging together now, which is I'm old.
Right. And I'm trying to remember and that's why we need more people. We need to do this live on both channels while we're recording the podcast because I have I have a couple people in chat that are talking to me that I'm using their stuff to reference and help me because Elo's in here. But um my my thing is and I can't remember 100% because I've played so many games since Black Ops 2, but I vaguely remember everybody thinking that the origin Easter egg was solved, but they didn't know that you had to do every single little part of every Easter egg, even the little side Easter eggs, until you actually got to do the full, like, there's a movie cutscene. And so for me, I know we got a cutscene, right? At the end of this Easter egg. Did we not? Did we get a cutscene? I don't remember now.
You did not get an actual cutscene, which makes me slightly agree with you,
Right.
with the exception of you finished everything you need to do for the next step in the next map. Like
Right.
you've gotten the audio to letting us know where we're going next, and that Samantha's going to be one of the characters in the next map. So
Right.
like,
Because we just go in the room and he's doing the things, and then we kill the zombies and keep him safe, and then we exfil, right?
yes. And then when you
Okay,
exfil,
so
you hear a little thingy
right, but
from
it's not like a cutscene. So that's the part for me that makes me feel like, man, I feel like there's more to this Easter egg that we're not getting. Like we've basically done what you need to do for the next map, but we haven't unlocked that special little, something, at the end. And I think it's because, you got to shoot those little towers to move the satellite dishes to shock the thing to get some points, which could be irrelevant. Maybe you just need them for an Easter egg step. We haven't watched every single ghost thing in the ether, every single time. And I feel like there's just all these little details because I feel like whenever I've ever seen a cutscene in any zombies map, it was always a higher round than you wanted it to be because you had to do all these little extra steps that just unlocked that little cutscene at the end, that movie, that gives you some story and makes it worth it. And I just feel like
so the only thing that it's rough, man. It's rough now
it
because
is.
we have all these guys. We have these zombie YouTubers. A couple of them I keep up with, and they're pretty good at going through, re-sniffing, looking, seeing if there's something still hanging, and they've come and gone, man. So like the
Right.
main one I seen is gone. The other thing is we're only 11 days. We're 11 days from season one. Season one brings us the next zombie map. Season one also brings us Black Ops and Cold War. Cool, but
Right.
so like unless they have what they've been doing with Modern Warfare, and maybe they'll unlock one more Easter egg week prior to release, and that we can kind of like get us a little more hyped. I think most
Right.
things are done, but even if they do, I still go back to the original of they've dumbed down some things on here. Before, if you were earning high rounds and you died, when you come back, it was almost impossible for you to make a comeback because zombies were strong. You weren't going to have enough money. Just
Yeah.
GG. How
Absolutely.
much longer can Pineapple and whoever carry me?
You
Now,
were sweating. You were sweating. If you were a good player, you were still sweating to get back on your feet and be
yeah.
a part of the
Now,
team.
now you come back with cash. The pack a punch. They show you how to pack a punch.
Yeah.
I mean, they made zombies a little easier. It's still difficult. Obviously, we get to the higher rounds and it's a little
Right. The
difficult.
higher rounds get
But
stressful, but
it's a little too
you
easy
know what?
for me. I want to sweat a
Yeah,
little more in zombies, and I want to feel like I earned
I
something.
I feel like it's and this is where we differ. I feel like it's a good balance, and I'll say this, and I'll explain why. I feel like getting the story and getting the Easter egg done and it being simpler and easier for people to do it makes the game more universally friendly for people who want to know what's going on in the zombie world and makes it available to everybody just like a normal campaign. And then for the hardcore zombie players, them making these wonder weapons and these styles of gameplay to let you go high rounds and create your own little high round strategy and then put these boss guys in that really trip you up and really destroy any kind of idea of success you think you might have. I mean, when these big guys start to come in, they really wreck your day, you know what I mean? So I feel like they to me personally as a person who's thinking about like it's a video game, right? So it should be fun, it should be engaging, and it shouldn't be so hard that, you know, a a 10-year-old or 7-year-old kid couldn't pick it up and play it, right? So for me, the Easter egg part, packing and getting all the stuff and the wealth of income and the ease at which you can get started and get the Easter egg done, I like that. Um, because I don't want to struggle to get the story done. I want that to be kinda easy so I can enjoy the story. I even like how they added in where if you're standing next to the specters, the zombies don't touch you so you can actually hear the storyline. I mean, how many times did you try to hear the storyline, you're, like, holding your headphone up to your head, and you're, like, trying to push the speaker up and turn the volume up while a zombie's going, "Bah, bah," the whole time, you're like, "I don't understand what this guy's telling me," because all I can hear is
That's a
the
good
zombie screaming.
addition. You know what the
So,
best addition to the new zombies is?
pausing the game in multiplayer, right?
Pausing the fucking game, bro. Pausing the game.
Being able to pause the game. That's like, dude, that when who was it? I was playing with you
Yeah.
or Elo,
I
somebody.
you were playing with me, and then I
Yeah.
don't know if I was gonna go to my settings or what I was gonna do, but I paused, and like everyone was like, "What?"
I was like, wait, what now? You can pause the game? Like you could never do that. That's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
Only in private matches, obviously, but yeah, it's fucking awesome. It's the best
That is
addition.
amazing.
I just have
Quality of
that
life.
small. I still have that small urge. Like I said, I'm not the same person I was a while ago. I used to want to be number
Right.
one multiplayer, but I still have that urge in zombies to where I want to say it's a little tougher. So when I
Right.
know when I get a little higher, I'm like, hey, me and Pineapple, we get to round da da da. But right now, you
Right.
can't say that. Everybody, any round we get to, anybody, it's a
Right.
little easy to get set up in that game. But
Right. I
I
think
do, it's way the pros are way bigger than the cons for me. I love the map.
they are. They are. There's an easy fix too, man. I mean, they could honestly, they could go in and add an extra difficulty level. You know, they could go in and add the start at 20, right? So I mean, they could easily give you the hardcore zombie fanatic skilled player that experience that you want, right? That one that makes it hard to do the Easter egg, right? But I think for the life of the franchise, for it to grow and for it to grow more fans, I think they're in the right. I think nailed it. I think it's fun. That's what I think. I think it's fun. I mean, I know that the challenge is fun, and I've played zombies in the past, and the challenging nature of it is can be fun. But I remember when I got into I'm gonna say it's Black Ops 3 or 4. What's the one with the little uh I wanted to call him Gandalf, but you know what I'm talking about. Golems that run around, and you got to deal with those guys,
That's
and you're
in
in a map.
that's in the map 5 when
No,
you're
no.
in the
Well, I'm
president
talking
bunker.
about. Yeah, no, not that one. I'm talking about the one where you're like in the 50s. You're in a city in the 50s.
Transit?
No, 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 no. You're. What is the name of that map? See, I didn't play too much of this, or I would know it by heart. It is in Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3.
Or not Origin. What is it called? It's I don't like that. I don't like that map, just so you know. It's called Shadows of Evil. Shadows of Evil.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The Shadows of Evil. Yes, yeah, that's it. That's it. Shadows of Evil map. So, that map is why I stopped playing zombies. I don't know if you guys did the Easter egg on that map, but that map,
Wait,
Shadows of Evil, is why I stopped. I love Transit.
are
Transit was
you
fun, but
telling me that you didn't play Revelations?
I did not play Revelations.
Oh my god, dude.
I did not. I
We're gonna
told
have
you
to get
this.
on that.
I did not do. I only did one Easter egg, and that was Shadows of Evil, and I stopped playing zombies. And it was because it became such a chore to do these Easter eggs. And I know that if you're, this is coming from a skilled zombies player. I'm not a slack. You know, you've seen me play. I'm good, right? So I'm good at zombies, and I was just sitting there stressed out. I'm like, dude, this isn't fun anymore. This is like they really want to torture you
Well,
to do these
Shadows of
tasks.
Evil, I did not like for bunch of reasons,
Right.
but they redeem themselves. They redeem themselves so big with Revelations. The
Really.
Revelations map was a broken space map, and it was almost I want to say 8
I was like a
areas.
callback to Moon. It was like a callback to Moon kind of
No,
thing.
no, 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 no. Like a broken time space. So like there was different platforms, and you can like hit these things, and it would shoot you to the next one. And each one of the platforms were a chunk of an old map. So
Right.
a chunk of Origins, a chunk of Moon, a chunk of Die Rise, like, and you had to go.
Oh, oh, I did play that map. I did play that map. I know what you're talking about. Revelations. I didn't do the Easter egg on it, but I did play the map.
So the Easter egg was really good. It's the Easter egg that tied up the whole story that was supposed to finish the Ether story or whatever it was. It
Right.
was a fun map to play for one. It was a very fun map to play, but the Easter egg was super good. It
Yeah.
also it took you out to like Samantha and her brother playing toys. Like they were It was almost like they were
Oh,
storytelling. They were
I did
storytelling.
see that one. I did do that Easter egg. I know what you're talking about. You go to her house, right? And they're
Yeah.
playing the game.
And then her brother is like, I want to tell the story next time. And they zoom out, and the dad is Maxis, and he's actually working on something zombies, right? But they were like, they were supposed to fix the
Right.
timeline. It tied up all these loose ends, and it was so good. And
Right.
that was such a good map. I was
I
expecting
did do
that
that
good.
Easter egg.
I was
Yeah.
expecting that. I guess I shouldn't expect it from the first map, but I was expecting that to roll into this.
Right.
And I
So
was
I'm
expecting
gonna
even more.
rephrase. Right. I'm gonna rephrase what I said earlier. I did the Easter egg on that map. I didn't do the Easter egg on Shadows of Evil. And I played Der Eisendrache, which is the dragon one, right?
Yeah, that one. That's another map
Played
that I wasn't fond of.
played that map. It was a nightmare. I felt like I was running uphill as fast as I possibly could with 600 pounds on my back. Like I felt like they just made them too stressful to get the stuff done that you need to get done.
Well, it was too hard to get those bows, and after you got the bows,
Yeah,
it was too hard to upgrade the bows.
right, dude. I'll tell you this: when I played Black Ops, this is what I like about the new one. This is exactly what we're talking about. So in Black Ops 2, I went back and did the Easter eggs over and over and over and over again. They were easy. You know, they weren't easy, but they were easy enough. They weren't hard like the newer ones where it felt like it was near impossible, let alone trying to drag your friends through them to help them out, right? I felt like once you knew Black Ops 2 Easter eggs, you could just whip through them and oh yeah, let's go do Mob of the Dead. Let's go do Origins. No problem. We'll get the staffs. We'll do that. You know, it was so easy, right?
Well,
It was a cakewalk, and that was fun.
the Easter eggs weren't hard on Easter eggs weren't hard on Shadow Evil or that other map though. They weren't hard. The the play of the map was the flow of the map was terrible. There
Right.
was no good spots to train zombies. There was death corners everywhere. There was no good
Right.
flow, and when you had to do something that involved you and a teammate, you brung too many zombies to your spot. The flow of the maps is what ruined those for me. It was hard to do things
Yeah.
because you had to do things at higher rounds and you had to control zombies, and it was
Right.
hard to control zombies in those maps. But
Right. I also didn't care. That's when they introduced Gobblegum. Is that correct? Black Ops 3.
yes, and I gotta say I gotta love hate with that, man. I got a real love hate
So
with that.
and it was also what was the other thing they called the Dr. Monty's, whatever to
Yeah, the
Zapicons.
little
I don't know.
vials, the little
The
vials. So you
little
put in machines and you got gums from them. Yeah,
right, and this is basically just an attempt to monetize something, right?
microtransactions,
That's
dude. Yeah,
all.
you could buy those so you can
Right.
get gobble gums. Yeah.
Microtransactions. Right, right, right. So for me, that was the other thing that I don't think I bought Black Ops 4. Maybe I no, Black Ops 4 was gifted to me because somebody said, "Are you going to buy Black Ops 4?" And I said, "No, not after what they did with Black Ops 3." And they're like, "Well, what are you talking about?" I was like, "Anytime a game takes something simple and tries to overcomplicate it for profit, it's like, dude, if you want $100 for your game, charge me $100 for your game. Give me all the maps, give me all the DLC, charge me up front,
Well, there's
right?
a catch.
Let me pay for the
It's a catch 22 on that though. So the
yeah.
gobblegums don't ruin the game because simple fact is you can get gobblegums just from playing. You can grind it out and get it. Now
No, I know, but
somebody can go in there and buy things and then get more gobblegums. Does it give them an advantage? Slightly.
I think it was the random nature of it more so than the profit margin thing. Like I think it was like the fact that it was a slot machine, right? It was gambling.
Essentially, yeah,
Pretty
essentially.
Yeah, it was
So what
that's
I
what bothered me.
what I did love about it, and it kind of goes to what you say, you like things to be easier, is I love that there was a Perkaholic gumball in there. And you
Right.
could pop Perkaholic round one, and you could knock out any Easter egg you wanted to. You were OP from the beginning, and it was fun.
Right.
It made the game like if you wanted to have a chill back time, just go F off. You pop Perkaholic,
Right.
and it was a good time. But
And
that,
this and I'm go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, it's just
This is a
we
segue
could
into
do
what I was
that.
my the point I was trying to make.
We could do that in this map. That's the best. That's another good thing about this map. You can buy all the perks in the map. I
Right.
always hated. I love it and I hated that I had to choose 4 perks because
Right.
I wanted 6, and I love that there was
Right.
Easter eggs that would unlock them all or
Right.
a gumbo ball. Like
I like that you can buy them all now, by the way. I think that's a great life comfort thing that they've done. Is if you got the cash, you can get what you want. So this is the segue into that. So with the gobble gum, my personal experience, it felt like no matter how long I played, how much I grind and got the Monty's, fuses or whatever the hell they're called. Um, and I spent them on Gobblegum. It seemed like no matter how many times I pulled the handle on the slot machine of Gobblegum, I always got mediocre crap.
Garbage
Now, if I
gums,
was willing
yeah.
to throw in a $10 bill, then all of a sudden I magically get, tier 3 or what top tier crap. And then again, it's a single use, so it's like, yeah, you spent $10, but you're gonna run out. And so for me, that was just it was like meh, and I lost interest. I stopped playing, and I waited. Somebody gave me Black Ops 4, and I don't even think I played Black Ops 4 that much. To be
But
honest
you
with
know
you.
what they messed
So
up on? On the
what?
gobble gums, if you didn't care about saving your rounds, as long as the host didn't quit, say you're getting late and everyone's going down, you just bounce off,
Right.
you quit, and your gobble gum was never used. So
Oh,
you were able to keep
you.
your perkaholic for quite a while as long as you were able to quit before the host.
Oh my god. Okay, so there was an exploit for that. Okay, so for me, that's the segue into one of the things that I absolutely love about Cold War zombies, and that's this. You know what you're earning, you know when you're going to earn it, you know how much you're going to earn, and you know what you're going to pay for and what you're going to get. That to me is how every game should model anything. And I'll tell you this, if they start charging for crystals, cool. You know why? Because I know exactly how many crystals I need to buy the upgrade for the perk that I want, to buy the upgrade for the gun I want. I know what I'm getting. That's fine. But a
I,
slot machine style cash grab, that shit
well,
drives me
they
crazy.
that made enough people mad. They won't do that anymore. What they do now
Yeah.
is they sell skin packs, which is fine.
Right.
You got to make side
And
money.
right. And I'll buy and honestly, I'll tell you right now, if they come out with a cool ass skin just like Warzone, like I'm not big on the whole, buying skins and gun skin. I'm not a big I don't spend money on stuff like that. But every once in a while, like in Warzone, they had the lightning rounds, and I'm a friggin' Palpatine, electric force user. I love that shit. So I bought that skin for those tracer rounds, right? So every once in a while they'll come out with, but again, in Warzone, you know what you're buying, you know how much it costs.
Well,
It's not a guessing
I
game,
think that's any game now. I think everybody's gone away from
right?
loot
They
boxes
figured it out,
or
right?
well, they've seen hate. They also seen that people do some states do consider that, and they are gambling.
Gambling,
So
it is,
the pay to win is gone. The last straw was EA, and
right?
good. I have no problem buying cosmetic stuff, especially when it's not a risk. I know when I get this pack, I'm getting that pack, so I'm cool
Right,
with that.
absolutely,
Make your side money.
absolutely.
I'm cool with it.
And I'm cool with that too. I'm cool with them making money. Just be fair about it, right? Let's be honest and upfront. And yeah, so I'm excited for that reason. I like that I've earned these crystals by playing the game. So they didn't get rid of the fun aspect of it. They could have just taken it out, right? They could have just said, well, we can't make money gambling with the game, so let's just take this cool stuff out. So leaving that in, adding the pause, adding the quality of life, making it a little bit easier to do it for everybody to do the Easter egg, those things just make to me it's the perfect recipe in my mind of what zombies experience should be like. It is easy, but I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And if you want,
Okay. I do agree with you. I do. I have that small little inch for like I don't want everybody to be able to do. I want it to be earned. But
right,
I do 100% see your point, and I do agree with it. I just have that fucking competitive edge or something. I don't know what it
yes,
is, but
I here's my thing. I think that moving forward and even now possibly, that there are a few little cool, really cool, like you're only going to get this if you're good at zombies Easter eggs, and I think that's one of them that's left. I think that red guy is one of those moments. It's like only if you're good, you're gonna get this Easter egg. And I think that there's a couple of them in there, as a little, nod to the guys like us who've been playing zombies for a long time who are pretty good at the game. I think there's a few Easter eggs in there it would be silly of them not to put some really challenging Easter eggs in the game.
you know,
You know what I mean?
it's a matter of us taking that red guy somewhere. So I've been thinking about that red guy quite a bit actually. If you kill him, he's just dead. He doesn't split.
He does leave an orb though.
Yeah, but the orb disappears very quickly, and you can't interact with it.
Right.
So I
Right.
feel like we have to find a spot to take him, kill him, and the orb's gonna go into something. So maybe next time we get on, or if we do it later, we kill him in front of the pack a punch.
Right.
The orb goes into the
Okay.
Pack-a-Punch, and then maybe you're right. You Puck-a-Patch your Wonder Weapon.
Right. Maybe, or even that blue room, where the wonder weapon comes out of.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
Because
upstairs,
there's a skull. There's a little skull in there. So maybe, who knows?
dude.
But I'd love to find out.
I wanted to hit up TV shows today. We're definitely not
Where
gonna be able to. I do.
you don't think
We'll
so?
hang out later. Yeah, but like for this podcast, me to upload it, we're gonna hit 2 hours just with this last topic I'm gonna bring up on you already.
Okay. Which one are we bringing up?
So this is a surprise one I didn't want to tell you about. All right,
Oh,
but
okay, okay,
you've
okay.
kind
It's
of
not one
already
bonus I
hit.
have.
You already hit something earlier on it, so I kind of feel like I know maybe slightly your opinion, but
Okay.
in the news today, dude. Okay, there's a group of PS5 scalpers or whatever that do the bots, and they are now claiming they have 1,000 Xbox X consoles that they are obviously going to flip for profit. Okay, so what are your thoughts on people using bots to snatch all this new technology, PS5s, Xbox X's, the RTX cards that we couldn't get our hands on because bots got them first, and then throwing them on a secondary site for gross profit? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh man. Am I allowed to have multiple opinions?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I could see the capitalism.
Right. That's the first argument. So I am a true capitalist. I believe in capitalism. I am a Republican. I'm a conservative. I'm Christian, and I am a true capitalist. So I believe that if you are capable of capitalizing on an opportunity to further advance yourself financially, by all means, you should do it. You live in America, right? Morally, right? We're talking about a spiritual thing. We're talking about a elusive the morals. They're wavering constantly. I mean, we live in 2020. I've never seen morals waver so much in my life. Okay, so morally, I view the company to blame for what's happening. I don't blame the scalpers at all. I don't think that they're terrible people. I'm not mad at them. I think that capitalism is thriving well, and I think that capitalists like these scalpers are doing
Do
what they
you
do best.
think there's a difference between capitalists and price gouging?
Um, well, that's where the government needs to step in. So, and this is where I blame the businesses. So again, and I think you said this or somebody said this to me. I think it was you. If you don't need an ID to vote, then you're not going to need an ID to buy a product, right? So I think that Microsoft should sell their console to registered users with registered IDs or some kind of way of knowing that they're selling it to a real person. There's got to be a buffer. There's some way to know a real person is getting this console. You get what I'm saying?
So part two of this, before I give any of my opinion, part two on this news article, okay, is that there are senators and they're thinking about bringing it up and passing a bill that people are seeing that this does fall into price gouging with the fact of when something's unobtainable by or it has to be obtainable by everybody, right? So like say you list it on your website, you would have a weak argument on, hey, I put it up here, anybody can get it. But
Right.
it's just not true. We can't click add to cart, put our information, even if you have your information saved, add to cart, buy, the bot already got it. So
Right.
essentially, I think it was less than 2%, or maybe it was just 1% of people actually bought any product, whether it be an Xbox, a PlayStation, or an RTX card. They were able to buy it after pre-orders. So when it was pre-orders, obviously you were able to pre-order it if you did it early enough. But once they actually hit the market, it was 2% or less actual people got it. Everybody else had to buy theirs for a secondary party, and that's because you're not faster than a robot. You're never going to be. So
No, you're not going to be faster than a yeah.
they're trying to say that it's going to be okay for bots to still get it, but if you purchase the item and you sell that item for more than 2% of retail value, you can fall into the price gouging category and can be prosecuted depending on the state, whatever.
Right.
Uh, so government is looking at it and trying to step in. And
It's
what
interesting.
are your thoughts on that? I mean,
I would say a more fair percentage would be 30%. Um, because anything that you resell, but here's the issue though. If these guys, and here I don't think, see, I don't think Best Buy or Walmart or Target or Amazon or anybody really makes margin on these things, right? So we're talking about, I don't think Best Buy makes any money when they sell an Xbox, because I don't think there's any margin in it. So I think an Xbox is kind of like just a flagship item to bring people to the store, right?
well,
Now we'd have to look
it's,
this up and find out.
I believe, I believe they make a very small profit. So when a purchaser like Walmart, i.e., whatever store it is, they're able to buy it at whatever they call cost,
Right,
but they all buy it at the same price and they all list at the same price as their contract. So
right,
they're able to say they're able to buy the Xbox for four
right. They have a
seventy
retail
five.
agreement with Microsoft that they can't sell it for more than 4.99 or whatever, right?
Yeah, they sell it for the price. They sell it for 5.99, and they also during this contract, they're say the price is 450. Okay, so they buy the Xboxes for 450. They have to sell it at 5.99, but they also
Right,
have to abide by sales that the consoles will bring out. So like when they're like, hey, the sale right now is 3.99 for this Xbox. During that time when they
right,
buy consoles to stock in their store, they also still get that same discount. So I think they make a very very small. It's not big,
right.
but they do make a small profit on it. But
I think that if this, the way I look at it like this is, this is a hard topic, man, because my thing is this: we wouldn't have scalpers if these guys could get a hold of the consoles and sell them outright, like Best Buy, Walmart, Target, right? So you and I, we can't open up a business and sell these consoles to make a even if it's a 2% profit or 10% profit. Like, you and I can't go buy from Microsoft 400 Xboxes that cost and then list them on a website and sell them, right? We can't become we're not going to be able to open up a GameStop overnight. You know what I mean? So for these scalpers, if you put a regulation or a rule on them that prevents them from doing what they're doing, you're basically saying, okay, only retailers are going to have access to this, and if you do get access to it, you can't make more than 2% on the product, which is kind of, it
well,
sounds good to some people, but that it doesn't make any sense. If the scalpers can't get a hold of the product for anything other than retail, you know what I mean? Like,
the
and
the
and
problem the
any
problem with that is it would be a little it'd be a little more fair if, say, you could go to a Walmart right now in the store and grab an Xbox, right? But you
right,
can't. You can only order it at Walmart.com.
because
You
it's so
can't go to
limited. But I
you
mean,
can't go to Best
yeah,
Buy and pick it up. You can only go to
uh-huh,
bestbuy.com. So they're essentially crushing the market and then selling it. There's actually one store in LA. These guys are scalping with their bots and they're actually selling physical Xboxes at their store.
right,
But so
yeah, it's rough, man,
essentially,
because it's such a limited item,
sooner
right? I
sooner
mean,
or
it's
later, there's going to be a shipment, right? We don't know when the shipment is, but sooner or later, Walmart is going to get 2 pallets of Xboxes or whatever. So say that date is Friday. We don't know this date though, okay?
right,
And your son is just dying for this Xbox that you said you're gonna get him for Christmas. So you're like, you know what?
right,
I do love you. I'm gonna get this. You're gonna go spend a couple more bucks on getting it. You just bought your son a $1,200 Xbox that you walk into Walmart on Friday and find out, oh, we're not out of stock anymore. And there's 2 pallets of Xboxes at 4.99.
yeah.
I mean,
That's just capitalism, man. I mean, I mean, I'm serious. I mean, I know that you guys, some people are gonna hate me for saying that. I know it's a very listen, morally, it's wrong. It's wrong to take something that you don't need and limit it to to the population, to other human beings around you, and then gouge them in price for your own gain. Morally, yeah, I mean, obviously that sucks, right? But we live in America. That's capitalism. I mean, honestly, I can't get mad and I can't say that they're wrong because we have a country. designed to do that. That's why they're doing it, right? That's
I
think about it like
I
this.
I agree, man. I do
You
agree.
you are not allowed to get mad at these guys when you walk into a movie theater and pay $22 for a soda and popcorn. You get what I'm saying? Popcorn's like 10 cents. You get what I'm saying? A soda is probably like 26 cents, honestly, to make it.
Well,
They
well,
probably pay
well.
26 cents to pour a cup.
The only poor argument to that is most movie theaters we go to, you're paying that same price, right? Just about, around about.
No, I know, but
If you go to all these AMC's or all these other theaters, all their snack items, which they make a killing on, are about the
right.
same price. Where
But I can't take in a soda and a popcorn without somebody giving me some shit about it. I have to hide it in my jacket.
yeah, but
You
yeah,
get what I'm saying? Like
but
that's what I'm saying. Like it's capitalism, and any way you put it, it's capitalism. I mean, I understand that a movie theater wouldn't survive unless they charged a shitload of money for snacks and stuff because they don't really make that much money on the movie. I understand how the movie theater system works, and it's obviously it's honestly I think personally it's dead. It's a dying thing. We're probably going to be watching movies digitally over the internet now, and that's going to be our movie theater. It would be dumb for them not to get rid of movie theaters. To be honest with you, I think movie theaters are it's like Blockbuster. It's a thing of the past. It needs to go away. They're terrible. Most of them are dirty. They stink. People are
dude,
rude. They talk
I've
on their
agreed
phones
with
and
you with so many things, but you're starting to go left wing on me,
movie theater.
buddy.
Look, I like
Hey,
movie
the
theaters. I
immersion of
like movie
watching a
theaters.
brand new movie on a giant movie theater
No,
screen, getting that
I agree with
rumble in
you.
your
I'm
fucking spine,
dude.
bro, will
I'm old
never
school. I
go
love
away.
movie
Will
theaters.
never
I
go
love
away.
movie theaters. But I honestly think it's fading out. I think it's going to go away. I mean, it's just kind of I feel like it's a
Don't you put
natural
that fucking
progression.
blockbuster curse on those guys, you motherfucker,
Uh,
all
don't you put the
right?
blockbuster gears on these guys. So for me, okay, the one side of me goes, these guys suck, right? I would love to go walk into Walmart or go on Walmart.com or BestBuy.com or whatever and order an Xbox or a PlayStation, and I would love that for everybody watching and love that for everybody across America to be able to just go on and get your console and walk out and pay a fair price for it, right? These guys obviously are assholes. I mean, most capitalism, most capitalists good ones are assholes. Like, let's be real. The wealthiest among us are usually assholes. Let's be real. Let's be fair and straightforward. You're taking advantage of somebody. Like I have knowledge that not many people have, so I capitalize on that knowledge and charge for my time to do my job. Right? Um, would it be nicer of me to just tell people how to fix it themselves? Hell yeah, it would. But it wouldn't make me $200 an hour. Right? So
You're comparing apples and oranges now, though.
I know. It's
You're
a
going
little bit
far out
different.
there. Even the
I'm a
movie theater
proponent of this.
comparison,
Right.
your work
They're
comparison, they're not
I
the
know. They're
same
they're not
on
apples and apples. I get it.
the
I
problem.
agree. I
The,
agree.
the one
So,
problem is that I absolutely blame 100% the distributors. The distributors know what's
absolutely.
going on, and
We agree on that.
is there a fix
100%.
to it? I'm not sure to make it a little more fair for someone to try to grab it. But I do think if they did
You know,
step in, 2% is way too low. They should be a different percentage, but you should not be able to list
here's the deal.
something at twice the price.
This is just proof that online shopping is not perfect for every situation and scenario. So retail stores that they're like, "Oh, retail stores are going to be a thing of the past." Blah 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 blah. And this is the same argument for your movie theater thing. This is why movie theaters will not die. And this is the same reason why retail stores will not die. We need a physical place where a physical person has to have an ID to buy your product so that they're not buying 6,000 of them so that nobody gets one so they can charge
Well,
4 or 5 times more for it,
do
right?
you know what an actual fix to this is, though? The simplest fix that you could imply right now, and it's not perfect, but it will definitely help, is that if I buy an Xbox, you got to send that Xbox somewhere. Well, you can
Right.
only limit, and I wouldn't say
Two
one
two per
because,
address.
yeah, but I would say, a couple, two, maybe max three per address. And that way, even if you were to use multiple addresses, you wouldn't be able to take the horde of these guys. There would be a way around it for some people. They'd get their hands on a couple of them, but it would free it up for quite a few more people. They should put a couple precautions in. If you do happen to get one on and everyone sells out, feel free to make some money on it, dude. I
Right.
100% have done it in past consoles where I bought one. They did happen to sell out, and I was like, "Well, I still have mine. I'll make a little money and get mine when they come back out." But
Right.
for a whole entire marketplace to get shut down completely by bots because there's a network of however many people doing it, that's when
Yeah.
you have to step in and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
enough's enough. This is a little too
Well,
much."
yeah, and that's dude. I honestly like. This is where This is where we're gonna slightly skew off a little bit. I wholeheartedly believe that at least Microsoft. Okay, because here's the thing. I know Microsoft's philosophy for they care about their customers. So how could you not, after what happened with Nvidia, how could you as Sony and Microsoft not implement some counter to this treatment of your customers, right? You are selling your console for 599 because you know it's not worth 2 grand, right? You know if somebody paid 2 grand for that machine, got it home, that they're not going to be happy with that purchase because it's not a $2,000 machine. You know what I'm saying? So why would you allow your customers to be subjugated to this price gouging because they already knew it was going to happen.
You know
There's no
what's
way they didn't know.
slightly worrisome is that the amount of consoles and RTX cards that sold for so much
Right.
is what happens when these console guys see that and they're like, you know what? Let's
Right.
release the Xbox X 2.0. They do some little tweak to it, but next thing you know, they're like, hey, everyone was already willing to pay $1,200 for it, so this console's $8.
Right. That's the
And
thing, man.
it could
That's the
have
danger.
it could happen, dude.
That's the danger. That's the thing that I'm worried about. That's what I said. That's the only thing I'm worried about, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, it's like, when is Microsoft, Sony, and Nvidia going to go? Damn, we're not charging enough.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I mean?
they honestly aren't either on consoles. I mean, they are. Trust me, you're charging too much, dickheads. But no, they're not making money on the consoles. They never do. They make money on video games. So,
Right. Right.
it if they could see that they can take away that margin, they might. It's that kind of
Right.
world.
I mean, I guess the best part for me is that I'm a PC gamer mainly now, so like I'm not even really stressed out about the whole PlayStation Xbox thing. But I feel like if you're a console gamer, man, like this sucks. If you didn't pre-order, I mean, this just sucks for you. It's
Yeah, you
terrible.
know
And,
what's the worst thing about this generation is a lot of people were skeptical to pre-order. They wanted to make sure it was actually a generation jump, right? So a lot
and
of
that's
people held
Microsoft's
off.
fault.
A lot of people held off. It was both. Well, it was both consoles' fault, and I hate saying it, dude, because I fucking hate hearing about it. But unfortunate, we had Corona this year. We weren't showcased all the stuff we should be showcased early enough. So
Yep.
pre-orders didn't get hit enough, and then production got held up because of all this. It was a perfect scenario for people like this, and they're not enough consoles being made and everything like that. I think if anybody
Right.
really wants one, just wait till March. I think they'll be available. They'll start being in
Yeah.
stores. Unless you
Again,
absolutely need
that's the
one, which
thing.
you don't, just wait.
But see, that's the thing, man. Again, like if I'm Microsoft, I'm calling the head of Walmart, I'm calling the head of Best Buy, I'm calling the head of Target, I'm calling the head of all these companies, right? And I'm saying, we are only shipping consoles to you guys. And you have to have a policy in place to protect our consumer because it's not Walmart's consumer only. It's your customer. Like I'm Microsoft. It's my customer. It's my Xbox, my product, and you're my customer. I don't want my customer paying 2 grand for my device that's
Do
599.
you think they
I
care,
don't want them.
or do you think they care that units were sold?
You
I think that
you
they
need
care
to
that
you
units were
need to
sold.
care. You need to care.
But
You
you,
need to
whether
care.
you need or not, doesn't matter, right? Do you think they care? They see their units flying off and selling instantly. They're like, hey, guess what? We sold all
Yeah,
of our units.
yeah,
We sold
but
them
here's the
all.
thing, man. Like how long are these scalpers holding on to these consoles before they're getting rid of them? Are they flying immediately out of their I mean, obviously, here's the thing. We know that, there's going to be 10,000 YouTubers paying 3 or 4 grand for these devices because they want to get the content out before everybody else, right? If they didn't already get a free
Yeah.
console because they got a million subs, right? So like for me, as a business minded person, I mean, I've owned and operated businesses since I was 17, right? 20 years of being a business owner. Me as a business owner, I look at it and I go, I don't care about the YouTuber. I don't care about the scalper. I don't care about uh, the capitalist, right? I care about the 150, 200, 300, 1 million individual gamers that aren't in this for money, that aren't in this as a career, that are going to buy 27 games and subscribe to my service. I care about the million. Th- Microsoft's not making that 2 grand on that console. They're still making 599. So as a quality to the customer, as a business owner, I'm going to go, let's put in place a practice that prevents scalpers with retailers. Let's only ship it directly to them. Let's only sell it physically. No online orders, and only for a period of time. Obviously, because there are people, right, that can't go into a store, so they're going to have to order it online. But for that first month, 2 months, put a physical sales only limitation on the product. You have to go in the store and get it,
I
right?
think I
Obviously,
think you definitely allocate a large amount,
right.
to in person for sure. Maybe
And
not
put it
all.
up, yeah, and there has I do it's as simple as saying show us a driver's license or a valid ID, and you can
Yeah.
walk out with a console, one per person. And if a scalper wants to go in there with 10 of his friends, that's still a good limit because he's not going to have 1,000 friends come in the store with him and buy all the consoles. You know what I mean? But
Are
limit
you
it.
are you playing any games tonight?
If you want to, yeah, I'm down.
I don't.
It's one
I
o'clock in the
hate
morning.
I hate to stop conversations, but we are at 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Oh my god,
So
it's a
we are
podcast.
definitely going to do a number two. We're going to have a much better name for our podcast, I'm sure. And if anybody has anything they want to talk about, want us to talk about, anything that we skipped over or just were full on wrong about, make sure you comment below. Also, um, go and show some love, guys. Shaded Pineapples, Twitch, right? His channel is a lot prettier than mine too. He's streaming live right now, so you see his forehead. It's only showing his top for some reason. Come here, throw him a follow. If you're super awesome, throw him a sub. Go to my channel. Look at I don't even have a channel trailer yet because I'm ghetto. But you can throw me a follow, Urban Image Jafu, Twitch. And if you are an up and coming streamer, you want to check us out, come hang out. You can try to get on our stream team by coming and interacting with us, guys. Come to our channels. We both have Discords. We interact with our community quite a bit. I would say we interact more than most, especially for our channel size. Um, I'm gonna put both of our channels in the description. I will put. Do you have a YouTube, Pineapple?
Shaded Pineapple everywhere except for Twitch. It's Shaded Pineapples on Twitch, but everywhere else Shaded Pineapple.
So I'll put the information below the channel, guys. This is a longer one. We'll get these down a little better. We hopefully put these out at least bi-weekly. I think that if Pineapple is down, I want to continue this next week. We have so much more, guys. You guys missed out on a Mandalorian talk. If we can squeeze it in before next week, I will. But we are watching the Mandalorian. We're both super into it. And also I wanted to hit Cyberpunk today because Cyberpunk is coming out in 11 days, guys. But we will hit that in the next one too. So we appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and follow our channels, guys. Catch you later.